For those of you that have been with us now for close to 20 episodes, you might already know that this podcast was conceived as a Nicolas Cage rewatch podcast. How we ended up watching 2008's Sex and the City is beyond me. If you would have told me 2 years ago that I'd have ever even seen this movie, I would have laughed it off. If you would have told me 2 years ago that I would have liked this movie, but here we are, me, Jason, that German listener, watching movies, discovering things about ourselves. I still have not seen Bad Lieutenant Port of Call, but I can say that I've seen Sex and the City, the movie. Welcome to You've Got Mails.
CJ, 6 years, 94 episodes, 47 hours is how long it would take to watch every episode of Sex and the City. Here at You've Got Mails, we said, fuck it, let's just watch the movie and see what happens.
Raw dogging it.
Welcome to You've Got Mails, everybody. I'm Jason, I'm here with CJ, and on today's episode,
You're not Jason. You're a Carrie. You're a Carrie if I've ever met one.
You're fucking wrong about that, my friend. I'll tell you who I am, but not yet. We're going to talk about 2008's Sex and the City movie. CJ, what did you know about Sex and the City before you watched this movie? Did you have any prior knowledge that helped you going into this?
I knew that she was a sex writer. And she wrote about
relationships.
Like, relationship writer. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I knew there was a Mr. Big, and nobody knew what his name was. I knew that everybody is apparently one of these four women.
Okay.
And boy, that was about it.
Yeah, I'm pretty much on the same page. I mean, I think at the time when this show was big, I was dating a girl who liked it. Like, didn't love it, but like would watch it here and there. So I'd seen bits and pieces. I kind of knew the main characters, but I didn't know anything about them. Like you said, I knew about the four women. I know their names. I knew about Mr. Big. I kind of knew the premise was just like 30-something women, single.
Yeah, it was like it was the female entourage.
Yeah, in a way, yeah, absolutely.
Gotta respect that.
As I like to call it, the millennial Golden Girls.
Oh, I'd go with that too.
Yeah,
okay.
I feel like each one of these women you could almost put into a Golden Girl. At least some of them. Like Samantha's a total Blanche.
Oh, 100%,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. So yeah, I didn't know
if you knew this while you were watching this. Samantha's into sex.
Oh my God, is she? And I'm into Samantha.
Yeah, they beat this into your head.
But I think that, like, I knew that going into it. Like, I think that's her whole character she's not a relationship person, she's a sex person. Like, she likes to bone down.
Go for it.
Good for her. Yeah. Sex positive. I'm here for it. Yeah. Go for you, Samantha. But I will say, like, so I fired this movie up not knowing, like, obviously, you've got 6 years of episodes. Like, I assumed going into this movie, there would be references to things that I did not get and did not know why things were happening.
Well, they did cover it all in that 10-minute preamble.
Within, like, the first, like, 5-10 minutes during the opening credits, they do a really nice job with a voiceover by Sarah Jessica Parker's Carrie that pretty much gets you up to speed with the stuff you really need to know.
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't, I don't think, anything in this movie that happened that I was like, I don't understand what's going on. You could go into this movie having never seen Sex and the City and get what you were supposed to get out of it. Like, you were going to get the story and get everything from it. So I applaud them on that. They got me up to speed pretty quick, and I do appreciate that, because I really thought going into it, it'd be very confusing.
And I like you, I got to that point where it's like, should I watch a YouTube video about this? I was like, nah, let's just go in here blind.
No, I mean, this whole podcast is based on two guys that know nothing about romantic comedies, chick flicks, watching movies that are out of their wheelhouse. So it only makes sense that we watch a movie without having the 47 hours of prior knowledge of what it's even about.
Yes.
As the entire world probably knows, Sex and the City was an HBO series. It ran for 6 years, and it focuses on the lives of four women in their... I mean, I think when the show started, they were like mid-30s. Now they're 40s-ish, and one of them is pushing 50. And their kind of lives in New York City and like how they get by day to day being single. Not anymore, though. I did do a little bit of research, not a ton, but I know that when the show started, they were all single. And by the time the series ended, Miranda was married to her guy with a child. Charlotte was married to her guy, and they'd adopted a baby. Samantha was living, or I don't know if she was living in California, but she was seeing this guy from this movie. So they all kind of had their, and Carrie and Big ended up together at the end of the series. This movie takes place 5 years after the series ended.
Yeah, these are established people.
Yeah, like they have lives, like, but you don't need to know that necessarily. Like you can tell going in, like when you meet like everybody's significant other, you know who they are. Like they're their significant other. You're not like, oh, who's this guy? You just don't know the backstory of how they got there, which is fine. Because most movies are like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Okay.
You just have to accept the fact that these people are together. You don't have like a whole lore that it's based on. We start the movie with our little recap from Carrie, and we find out that her and Big are still together, and they are looking for the perfect apartment in New York City.
Which is the hardest thing to find, apparently.
I mean, I've heard.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
I hear living in New York is difficult. And especially, I mean, I've also heard like what you pay for a very small apartment is outrageous. So they go to a building where they are talking about how, they really like this location. They like the building, but they don't know really what the apartments look like. They take them up to the apartment. They see it. It is a dump. Like just the worst looking place.
No windows.
And we find out, there's one window. We find out that this is their 33rd apartment that they've looked at.
That's too many. There is a point where you just have to be like, look, we either need to move out of New York. I
kind of wonder where Big lives. Like, this is why I kind of wish I knew what the hell was going on.
I think they show a scene in his house. Because she says she's going to... This is way further into the movie.
Right.
She says, I'm going to sell my apartment in a scene where they're cooking in what I believe is his apartment.
I think they're already moved into the new place.
Oh.
If not, his place is really nice. Why didn't you just move in there? Anyhow, they're trying to decide. They're trying to find a place together. They want to move in together. They find this real crappy place. They don't like it. As they're leaving, they say to the realtor, well, if anything else opens up in the building, like, please let us know. We really like the location. He says, well, I do have, like, one place that's not even on the market yet, but it's a little bit out of your price range. They ask to see it, get in the elevator, takes them out to the penthouse. Beautiful apartment. Like, huge.
And I don't believe for a second anything is out of their price range.
Well,
I have no idea what kind of business Mr. Big does. But business is fucking hard.
You get the feeling he's a big businesser and he's making a lot of money.
Those suits were built around the man. He didn't buy those off the rack.
A lot of times when we do a podcast about a movie, I might listen to like other podcasts. Like if I can find somebody did something about the same movie, like I'll listen just to get some ideas or like get some backstory, things I may not know. And I definitely listened to one for this just because I kind of wanted to figure out like if there's anything I needed to know that I may have missed from not watching the show. And it sounds like Big is a big money guy and has always kind of like taken care of Carrie. There were times where he like fronted her money for like business ventures or like at one point her apartment got taken away from her and he bought it back for her. So Mr. Big, he's got some money. Mr. Big's a sugar daddy. Yeah, I do believe.
Big is not just like a name.
That's the bankroll.
Persona.
Yeah, he's Mr. Big. So they go up. She falls in love with the place immediately, and without even asking how much it is, like this is how you know Big's got money. He doesn't even know. He's like, let's sign some contracts, and she goes, well, can we afford it? He goes, I got this.
Yeah, the last time I didn't ask how much something is, I ended up paying like $25 for a burger at Five Guys, and like that's the last time. Now. Girl Scouts roll up. I'm like, look, you got to tell me ahead of time how much Samoas are going to run.
Don't get me started on how expensive Girl Scout cookies are right now, CJ, because I'll do a whole podcast about that. Spent half my paycheck on like 6 boxes of Girl Scout cookies the other week. So they get the apartment. Then we kind of get some scenes with the girls together, and they're all saying to Carrie, especially Miranda. I mean, just keep in mind, Miranda is kind of the reason everything happens in this movie, in my opinion. We can talk about that at some point. But the first thing she does is she's talking to Carrie about, Big's buying the apartment, but your name's not on it. What are you going to do with your place? What if things fall apart? You should have a fallback plan, like so you can, and kind of in a way convinces her to get the place jointly, which leads to a scene where they're in the apartment talking about what they're going to do, and they come to a very business-like decision to get married.
This was so just matter of fact. Like, I'm surprised he didn't offer her a couple goats or something.
It was
a business agreement, not even romantic at all.
Yeah, it was just very much like, well, maybe we should get married. It's been this long. It makes practical sense that we get married.
Hey, what are you doing Thursday?
Yeah, at one
You
point,
got plans?
I had to look at my notes here, because at one point he says, I wouldn't mind being married to you. That was his, like, basically way of saying, let's get married.
Sploosh!
Yeah, not for me, sir. So, and also there was kind of another moment that spurred this on is after Miranda talks to her about, she should have a plan as to what to do with the apartment and everything. They go to a auction for a woman that lived in New York City whose husband basically kicked her out of the house that they lived in together. And as a big FU, she is auctioning off all the jewelry that he ever bought her, which is a shit ton of jewelry, you can see. And Samantha, one of the ladies, is trying to get a flower ring. She came all the way. So she lives in LA now. She flies back to New York.
Apparently twice a week.
Yeah, she visits a lot. Like, if big business is hard, Samantha flies hard. I think Samantha
She's
does.
got frequent flyer miles.
Samantha does a lot of things hard. So she flies back all the time, but they go to this auction. She wants this ring that she's had her eye on. They try to win it, and then someone down the way on a phone is bidding against her, and this ring goes for, I think, 65 or 60 grand just for one ring. And she has to say no to it because her limit has been reached, and she can't afford what this other person's bidding. But after this auction, they're in the bathroom together saying about how the auction was kind of sad. And there's a woman at the sink who knew the woman and kind of gives this story, this cautionary tale, like, oh yeah, they were in love, they were married. One day she came home and the doors were locked and he wouldn't let her in, and that was it. She had nowhere to go. So this was like another cautionary tale that kind of spurred Carrie into wanting to, which I thought was weird because the very next scene they're making dinner together and she's like, I think I'm going to sell my apartment. I was like, did you not hear what this woman said to you, like, before, like 5 minutes earlier?
Have some plans, lady.
Yeah, like, this is a bad idea. But, they decide to get married. We get a little bit of look into, like, everybody's lives, like, all the different women. Charlotte is married, a very happy married relationship. Like, she's the Rose of the Golden Girls.
Yes.
Like, constantly optimistic, bubbly, but maybe, like, a little dim.
A little neurotic, a little dim.
Yeah, it just seems kind of like the airhead of the group. But she has a seemingly very loving husband.
But she also has, like, the least meat of this entire of the main cast. Like,
yeah, which I'm sure, like,
she's given the least.
Which I'm sure if you watch the whole show, you don't need the meat. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure that she's been given plenty of meat.
Wow.
Much like Samantha. I'm sure she's been given plenty of meat throughout the series. It's not called Sex in the City for nothing.
Can we just go back and say plot instead of meat?
No.
She's given a lot of plot.
No. They've given Charlotte all kinds of meat in the 47 hours that we missed. So, like, when you see this movie and you already know her character and, like, all her stuff, you probably aren't as much, like, she's not very well fleshed out because she's been fleshed out for 6 years.
Yeah, she's a neurotic mom is all that I really know about her.
But so, that's her situation. Samantha fell in love with a guy who's an actor, quite a bit younger than her, and she's moved to LA, and she kind of handles his business. She's kind of like an agent for him. And she has a very sexy neighbor named Dante who lives on, like, the beach house, like, right next to them.
Pam and Tommy Lee. Like, they were supposed to be that, right?
It wasn't, no, because this guy... You talking about Samantha and her boyfriend, or
the
neighbor?
The neighbor.
No, because he was with a different woman all the time. Those were always different women.
Oh, the first time they show him, where they are, they introduce him in what I would call the most graphic sex scene that I've seen in any of these movies so far.
So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that this will be the most nudity we've had in a movie, and probably the most graphic sex we have in a movie on this podcast. This is my guess. I could be wrong. Surprise me, list.
I would be surprised if we got anything deeper than this, because I was shocked. I was titillated and shocked.
Titillated.
And when she first starts watching him, I actually thought it was, like, supposed to be a stand-in for Pam and Tommy Lee.
Oh,
like, it's a bombshell blonde and this guy with dark hair and tattoos.
No, he's just like a Italian maybe, or like French, like Spanish. Like, young, handsome man who lives next door. You get the impression that, Samantha...
Tall, dark, handsome, and hung like a motherfucker.
Speaking of giving the meat, so we get the impression that Samantha's boyfriend, the actor, isn't home a lot, so she's kind of like at the house by herself a good bit, and she kind of starts having this voyeuristic relationship with Dante, the guy next door, because he's always got a different girl over. We get a lot of gratuitous sex scenes with Dante. I think like 3 different ones. And it's a lot of her just watching this guy from, like, right next door. Why don't any of them have curtains? Nobody has curtains.
I mean, if I was working with that package, I'd probably show it off a little too.
No, you might be right. So we get that, and then we get Miranda and her husband Steve, and their marriage is kind of struggling. They've got a kid. They haven't had sex in 6 months, and then they finally do have sex. And there's a scene where we get some gratuitous Steve ass. We get a lot of man ass in this movie. Mm-hmm. Man ass in the city. So we get Steve and Miranda having sex. He wants to change positions, and Miranda just goes, "Let's just get it over with, could we?"
I felt this, man.
I was like, "Oh god damn!"
That is get the gun out.
That is
right there.
This is unsatisfactory Sex in the City, is what it is.
Yeah, like that took the air out of my balloon.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was sad. I was sad for Steve. So we've got that scenario where they haven't slept together and their sex life is getting a little rocky. And then we find out Steve confesses to her that he slept with someone else. And this pretty much just ruins their relationship. Like, Miranda just walks out. She's done with him. She can't live with him anymore. They split.
I don't blame her.
I don't blame her either.
Also, this guy, Steve, you said?
Yeah.
Cool voice. I like Steve.
Yeah, I like
Even
Steve
though
too.
he's a cheating bastard. Like,
yeah. Oh, like you felt like he was genuinely sorry. I mean, he made a mistake. He had a moment of weakness. I don't necessarily approve of it, but I also think that like those are things that like some relationships can probably work through.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like necessarily the end of the world if you talk about it and like the other person's willing to forgive you. Maybe it can still work. But all while this is going on, Carrie is planning her wedding. Starts out small, like she only wants 75 people. She's going to have a dress that's not even a designer dress, which I knew this already going into this, but if you didn't know it before, all these women are very into high fashion, clothes with labels, like expensive things. Like they're very much...
They are, and I was going to kind of save this for our grand gestures, but I don't think you can get away without talking about it. I like the way they handled this high fashion thing. Like, every scene, they have more costume changes than all of Tu Wong Fu.
Yeah.
But it's not like there are times where fashion or the larger closet seems to be a concern, a plot line, but it's not, like, overdone in this weird comical way.
No,
I don't know. I thought it was well written.
It's just, they really like fashion. It's a hobby, or it's something they take seriously. And they have a bunch of different clothes, and they wear them well, and it's just who they are. It's part of their character.
Yeah, you don't see them like fist fighting over shoes at the Macy's.
No.
I
don't think these women are shopping at Macy's.
No, that's true.
We find out, that she has a dress with no label on it. She just wants it to be simple. Charlotte's character has gifted her a small gay man. Basically, she's like, "Here's my gift to you." This guy who's going to plan your wedding. Mario Cantone. Well, I enjoy quite a bit. He's great.
Yeah.
I wish there was more of him in this movie, honestly.
I actually, this made me think of, we have a very similar friend group. A lot of layover. There's gay people in our friend group. But, why don't we know, a catty gay guy? I want a catty gay guy.
You know what, man? I've tried.
Yeah?
I've met some catty gay guys at parties, and, I usually hit it off. I usually do well.
Yeah.
And, but they never really want to hang out after we talk for, the first time. It's always there's always a strong initial connection where we chum it up and talk a lot. I never hear from them again. I've been ghosted by so many catty gay men. I don't even know what to say.
I feel like if I was hanging
They're all
out,
just wrap it up already. And I'm like, oh.
I've been made fun of by the best. But if you're hanging out with a catty gay guy and they make fun of you, you can't help but just laugh it off. You're like, oh, this is awesome. It's my turn to be made fun of.
Yeah. But then deep down you're like, it's true, though. Everything he's saying about me is absolutely true.
Oh, 100%.
I do have horrible fashion sense. So we get Mario Cantone. He's kind of helping plan the wedding. I also feel because I know there's the actor just passed away recently, too. He's the little bald guy with the glasses who's also their gay friend. I know he has a much bigger part in the show.
Yes.
He's not really, I don't know if he has a line in this. I think he does a little bit, but nothing major. And I kind of wonder if Mario Cantone's character has been around. In the show, or if he was new for the movie.
I got the feeling that both of them had been in the show at some point.
So I think that's the only thing you're really missing from not seeing the show is some of these characters don't really have a lot of time to shine. We didn't give Mario Cantone the meat. And but I think if you saw that, he was probably getting the meat for 6 years and we just never saw it. This episode's sponsored by Big Meat. So yeah, they're planning the wedding, but they're kind of like poo-pooing all of her things. Like, only 75 people, like that's not enough. And then she has the dress with no label. Like, well, that's not really you. Like, you're so into fashion and labels. It should be a better dress. And then finally, Carrie's mind kind of gets changed because Candace Bergen. Candace Bergen. Yeah, Candace Cameron's Full
not
House.
getting enough role in this movie.
I love me some Murphy Brown.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah, I used to watch Murphy Brown all the time back in the day. So Candace Bergen is an editor at Vogue, and she wants to do a piece on Carrie about they call it the last single woman in New York, because she is like, she's 40 and she's just now getting married, and they kind of do like a nice spread of her like in a bunch of different wedding gowns and like give her like a cover, and this like is really enticing to Carrie to be in Vogue and like on the cover. So they do a big photo shoot, give her a bunch of like nice dresses, and this is kind of the point where she wants to make the wedding a little bit bigger than it is, and she gets a really nice like beautiful gown, which I found this out, that wedding dress that she wears, $24,000.
Good Lord.
Yeah, $24,000. Some designer, I can't remember who it was exactly, but I knew the name. A bunch of famous designers, and then she gets one of the designers actually sends her the dress and says, after I saw the shoot, like, this is yours, like you belong in this dress. At this point,
that's somebody gifting you a car.
Yeah.
Like, imagine like you're driving down the street in a Jeep, and I say, "Damn, that guy looks good in a Jeep." It's your Jeep now. Mm-hmm. You should have that.
Yeah. The wedding starts to get a little bit bigger, and this is kind of stressing Big out because he has been married 2 times before, and the wedding is starting to get like a lot of attention. It was on page 6 of the New York Times. The wedding is growing. They're now going to have it at the library from Ghostbusters.
Oh, really?
You notice that? Yeah, when they first roll up to that library, it's got the lion statues out front. It's in New York.
That's like
that's a real library.
If you were getting married in Philly, you'd do it on the Rocky Steps. Like that library is a pretty big deal.
That's a real library in New York, and it's where Ghostbusters opening scene takes place, and it's now where Carrie and Big will be married.
The only thing I can assume
perhaps she'll get ghosted.
Ooh.
Oh.
The only thing I can assume is he doesn't really like this attention because Big is a mobster, right?
Ooh.
He's got mob vibes.
And I mean, with a name like Mr. Big, although I'm sure if we saw the show, we'd probably know what he does for a living. Yeah. But maybe not. Maybe Big's connected. I like that idea. So we get a lot of wedding preparation scenes, and we get a lot of sad Steve. So Miranda's husband is constantly trying to make things work with Miranda, apologizing, just like looks like he hasn't slept. The guy looks rough. And then finally, at the night of the rehearsal dinner, Carrie's talked Big off the ledge, kind of tells him, it's just you and me, really. This wedding's big, but it's about us. So he's cool with it again. But then at the wedding rehearsal dinner, one of his asshole coworkers is like basically... What's the word I want to use?
Roasting him for...
He's roasting him, yeah.
Yeah, for being married 3 times before.
This will be his 3rd time.
This will be his 3rd. And Kim Cattrall shuts that shit down.
Oh, yeah, she's great. All right, I'm going to let the cat back. I'm a Samantha.
You're a Samantha?
I fucking love Samantha. My God, she's the best. Not like the constantly having sex thing, but like just like the attitude and just like the fun, like... She seems like the best friend out of the bunch. Like, she's the one that's like...
Kim Cattrall is... She's a fucking national treasure.
Yeah, I love Kim Cattrall.
Oh, what was that movie? Mannequin?
She was Big Trouble in Little China.
Yes.
Yeah, the girl with the green eyes.
I mean, she's been around kicking ass.
Out of all the friends, she's like the best friend. Like, when anything happens, like, she's like, you guys take care of her, I'll handle this. Like, she's always calling, seeing how things are going. Like, oh, that sounds great. Like, great idea. Good friend. I really like Samantha. She's just fun. And I was a Blanche guy, and she's the Blanche of this movie.
Absolutely.
So it makes sense. I've got a type.
Man, I gotta watch some Golden Girls later.
So, at the reception or the rehearsal, Samantha shuts this guy down, but it's already getting under Big's skin. And then they're all outside having like a smoke and some cigars, and sad ass Steve wanders up because Steve wasn't invited because he's not with Miranda anymore. And he kind of asks everybody like, hey, could you let Miranda know I'm out here? I need to talk to her. She comes out. You find out she hasn't returned any of his calls. This is like the only way he could actually get an audience with her and try to apologize again. She says, you broke us. This is over. Like, it's never going to work. Goes back in, bumps into Big, and tells Big that getting married is a horrible idea.
Read the room.
And that marriage ruins everything.
Yes.
So as of right now, Miranda is basically the reason that they got engaged.
She's the catalyst.
And now she's the reason that they're probably not going to get married, right? So Miranda is the reason for all this.
She's got real Donatello vibes.
I don't know. No, I don't know what she is. So we get a scene of Carrie and Big. They're getting ready to separate for the evening. Carrie's going to go have a sleepover with the girls the night before the wedding. Big's going to go home. He seems a little off, but everything's fine. They get back to the apartment. They're having the girls sleepover. Big calls again. Like, I'm not really sure about this. I don't feel good about this. Like, this wasn't supposed to be this big. Carrie again kind of talks him off the ledge. Say, hey, everything's going to be fine. Like, this is you and me. We're in it together. Wedding day, she's all done up. They're getting her ready to get to the church. Or, I'm sorry, the library. Because they're getting ready to the library. Big is on his separate. He has his own. He also has a driver. He has his own car that takes him everywhere with a driver.
Yeah, this guy's business.
He's connected. I think he is connected. I think you might be right. Like, Big knows where Jimmy Hoffa's at. Like, he knows.
Oh, absolutely.
So
the trunk of that car.
Yeah. So he's on his way to the wedding. He's trying to call Carrie, like, repeatedly on her flip phone, which I had a problem with.
I saw this was a thing was that flip phone is actually like a major prop from the show.
Yeah, it's the phone she had in the first episode in 1998. It's been around since like
exactly
forever.
Like it's bedazzled. It's got tape holding it together in some spots.
For someone who's like so concerned about like appearance and clothing and just like accessories, like you think she would have gotten with the times and gotten a smartphone at this point.
I don't think at that time, like I kind of remember phones not being a fashion statement back
2008? See, I feel like 2008 wasn't that long ago.
2008 was, I think, the first year of the iPhone, which makes a showing in this.
It does, yeah. All right, so maybe not. But so Big is trying to call her repeatedly. Unfortunately, Charlotte's demon child has taken her phone and hidden it in her little cupcake purse.
Did you see how much that cupcake purse is worth?
No.
That's a $30,000 purse.
What?
Yeah. I actually did a little. I don't normally ever read like IMDb after these movies.
Yeah.
I did a little. I don't know why. This one spurred me to do a little research.
Okay.
That
it might
purse
be
is like a $30,000 art piece.
Maybe it's the fact that we didn't know anything about it before we go into it.
Yeah,
Maybe
multiple things in this movie. Those blue shoes that make multiple appearances in the movie are thousands, like $15,000 shoes.
God. Well, let me tell you. So I told you the wedding dress was $24,000.
Yes.
To rent the New York Public Library for an event is $50,000. Good Lord. The estimated amount that this wedding would have cost, $230,000.
I can get you the VFW down the street for like $60.
I know you can, CJ, and I appreciate it.
You'll smell a little smoky later, but you're only going to wear that dress once.
That's fine. It's just seasoning.
Yeah.
Hey, why would I be wearing the dress? So this leads me to our next part of the movie. Big is trying to call her, can't get a hold of her because Charlotte's daughter has her phone. He's panicking, like he's not ready. He's cold feet, you know? Pulls up to the library. She's not there. He's still trying to call her. The girls finally pull up in their limo. They all get out of the car, and Big is in the car and just saying, just look at me. Look at me in the face so I can, not to her, like he's saying it to her, but she's out. She doesn't know he's there.
Yeah.
And he's like, if I can just see your face, I'll be ready to go in with you. It seemed like a really weird thing to me.
Where's his boys at?
Yeah, he doesn't seem to have any friends.
It is a little weird. Like maybe they're all in jail or buried in the trunk.
Well, there was that one guy at the party who he did say was a guy from work. So either he was another mobster or he has a real job. I don't know.
Yeah, but like that's the whole point of groomsmen. Like not all men are going to run off, but to be like, look, we got it covered. Like you're going to do great today. Have a shot.
Yeah.
Chill out.
Yeah, you're right.
Like that's the groomsmen are supposed to keep the
guy
sad.
Big seems
from going absolutely fucking nuts on the day of the wedding.
You're right. Big doesn't have any guy friends. It's a little sad. All he has is his driver.
Yeah.
And all his driver did was get out and kind of give him a tap on the window and nothing else. So Carrie doesn't turn around and look at her. She goes to turn, pulls the veil down. He can't see her face. Tells the driver, let's get out of here. So they find out that Big's not there. Carrie finally finds her phone, calls him, and he's just like, I can't do it. I left. And then she just breaks down. Like, they have to get her out. They rush her out of there. Like, if she was a president and there was a gunshot that went off. They, like, grab her by each arm. They rush her out of the church. They stuff her in the limo. Kim Cattrall stays behind. She's like, I'll handle all this. So, yeah, there's $230,000 down the drain. I hope they at least had the party afterwards. Even if they weren't there.
And the catering, you didn't even talk about the catering.
That's what I mean.
It's probably another 70, 80
What I was saying is $24,000 for the dress, $50,000 for the venue, everything else equal to $230,000. They get in the limo, they're going, then Big is in the car and is like, this is stupid. Like, we got to turn around. I made a mistake. So he already is ready to get married. They turn around, they pass each other, see each other, so he stops, they stop. I thought this was a great scene. Like, she gets out of the car, so does he. She walks up to him, like, they towards each other. At first, I thought, they're going to just hug it out, and wedding goes on.
Let's take a step back.
No. She beats the shit out of him with some flowers. And it was a really good-looking scene. Like,
yeah. If you were walking down the street and saw that play out in front of you, you'd be like, I know exactly what the hell's going on. If nothing else,
like, I'm not getting into reviews this early, but I will tell you this movie gets points for me for, like, the cinematography. Because there are a lot of really well-done scenes and, like, shots in this movie. Like, it's really nice to look at.
You could tell there was some money put into it.
Yeah, like,
there was some money, there was some real knowledge of the movie.
But just that whole scene, like, you could take, like, any still of that scene where she's just beating with the flowers, and it looks like something you'd hang on your wall. Like, it's really well done. Like, it's just a cool-looking picture. I really enjoyed the style of it, so that was cool. But yeah, so she's done. Like, no wedding. She says something to him, like, this is over, you ruined us, or whatever. I don't know. And then she walks away, gets in the car.
And her friends do the exact right thing, which is sneer at him.
Oh, yeah,
and like, you could see that the absolute vitriol that they have for this.
Yeah, like, he tries to walk forward, and Charlotte's like, no, you stay away from her.
Yeah, I will stab you, man.
Like, she snaps, yeah. So, yeah, they were good friends. So we stuff her in the car, and then they have to take a vacation together. So she had a honeymoon booked for New Mexico? Mexico? I don't know.
It's like a little villa.
Okay, yeah. So they all go with her on the honeymoon since there is no honeymoon. And this was just kind of like a depressing 5 to 10 minutes of this movie where she is just a wreck.
I thought about how to turn this chick flick into a better chick flick.
Yeah.
A little bit of Jamaican penis.
Oh, yeah.
Were you waiting for a guy to show up like Tay Diggs shows up?
Yeah, how Carrie got her groove back.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd have been nice.
She needed just a dick down, basically. She needed to get dick down and get her shit together.
CJ, now stop. That's one of my least favorite tropes of these movies, that when a woman is depressed or doesn't have a good life, a little bit of dick will fix it. This is
you sure you're a Samantha?
This is a movie.
That's a Samantha move there, bro.
This is a movie. But even Samantha didn't suggest it.
Yeah.
If anybody was going to suggest it, it would have been Samantha, and she knew better, CJ. Shame on you. What she needed was some good poop humor is what she needed.
Yeah.
So we get this whole scenario where Carrie's deeply depressed. Like, she's in bed for 3 days, won't eat. At one point, like, one of her friends is feeding her. I think Samantha comes in. Again, Samantha, the best friend.
Feeds her porridge.
It's yogurt. It's a fruit and yogurt.
Is it yogurt?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Samantha's actually, like, spoon feeding her to, like, make sure she eats and make sure she's okay. And finally, she at least comes outside while they're all sitting by the pool. She's starting to show a little bit of signs of life. But she says at one point, will I ever laugh again? Because they're all cracking jokes and trying to bring her spirits up. She's not having it. She's just very upset. And there's I really like this. The whole time they're in Mexico, Charlotte will eat nothing but pudding snack packs.
Prepackaged foods.
Because she is afraid of what they might put in the food in Mexico. She won't drink the water. Nothing. There's a scene where she's in an outdoor shower, like out off the deck of their place, and she's showering. And she opens her mouth for a second, forgetting, and water gets in her mouth, so she spits it out. Then we get, like, the best scene where she is walking back from, like, the gym, and you start hearing, like, stomach rumbles and, like, just comical, like, fart sounds, which I thought seemed weird for this movie.
It was very out of place.
Yeah, but I mean, I've never seen the show, so maybe there's a lot of poop humor that we don't know about.
She shits her pants.
It's just sharts in the city. That's what happens. So she gets back to the villa. She can't get in the room because they're cleaning. Which I've never seen such a thing where you stay somewhere and when they clean your room, they lock you out of it. That seems weird. But she couldn't get in and then poops herself. And this is what brings Carrie out of her funk.
I mean, if you're ever having a hard time, man, I'll be there for you. But I'm not going to shit my pants for you.
Well, I don't think she didn't poop her pants on purpose. It's like she was like, I know what Carrie will love.
Yeah.
If I just fucking shit right now.
And this goes back to what I said is Charlotte doesn't get a lot of action in this movie. One of her main plot points...
Can we start calling her Chartlet from now on?
Chartlet?
Yeah, just for the rest of the podcast.
One of her main, scenes in the movie is her shitting herself in Mexico.
Yeah.
Which is just incredible.
Yeah, we just use her for comedic value. So yeah, that kind of brings Carrie out of her funk a little bit. She finally laughs. Still very depressed about everything that happened, but at least she can go back to New York City and kind of begin to put her life back together.
Yes.
So she decides that she's going to hire an assistant. First step, because she got her apartment back, We find out that they were able to put the kibosh on that deal, got her apartment back. All of her stuff is getting moved back in, but everything's in boxes. Like, the place is a mess. She's got to get somebody to help her out, get her life back together.
Couldn't we all be so lucky?
I know, right? We just
I'm
this
at a
place
point
is a
in my
mess.
life where I just need to hire an assistant.
Yeah, this place is a mess. Let me get an assistant. So she hires an assistant, and it's Jennifer Hudson.
Is that who that is?
Yeah, it's Jennifer Hudson. She plays Louise from St. Louis, and she is a delight.
Now I get it. Like, that's Jennifer Hudson. I didn't know who this woman was.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't pick Jennifer Hudson out of a lineup. I know that she's a great actress and
singer.
Singer?
She got her start on American
like,
Idol.
This being somebody of a little bit more stature makes sense.
Yeah, and this is a first.
Because I was thinking the whole time, I'm like, I don't know who this girl is, but she's excellent.
Yeah, no, and this is like a new character for the show movie. Like, she never existed before, so this is like, obviously, I mean, she's
I felt
just
like this
meeting
was
her.
kind of forcing a spinoff. You know, next season, Sex and the City, the new generation.
Oh yeah, well, I think they did a prequel series, The Carrie Diaries.
I believe so. Yeah.
So I know of that, but there hasn't been a spinoff. Yeah, so she hires her, and she's kind of helping her get her life back together, helping her get the apartment back in order, and then things keep happening that keep reminding her of Big. They're unpacking things, and she picks up a box, and the wedding dress is in it. Louise is going through emails, and she's saying, "Who's this? This is from..." Which we find out Big's real name, which I'm assuming in the show we probably knew too, but I didn't.
That you learn in the very last episode of the show.
Oh, really?
She gets a text message and opens her phone, and it says John.
Oh, okay. So this guy's name is like John Peter Peterson or something. I forget what his full name is.
Yeah, John Johansson or something.
John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, she gets an email from Big, and she just has her basically delete it and then like make sure that they go into a file where she never sees them again. So she's just cutting everything off from Big. She threw her phone in the ocean while they were in Mexico, so she gets a new phone number. Big cannot get a hold of her. Although I feel like Big probably didn't try very hard enough.
This guy can get names.
Yeah, and
he can get addresses.
He could have tried her apartment.
Because as we find out, he has been trying hard to get contact with her, but he knows where she lives.
Yeah, although I guess she sold the apartment. She sold the apartment, so maybe he doesn't realize she's back in it. But you think you'd at least give it a shot, you know? Because you figure, I just called off this wedding. She's got nowhere to go. Maybe she'll try to get her old apartment back. But he doesn't really try that hard, apparently. He's got a lot of people to whack, you know?
It's true.
A lot of waste management to do.
He's got a carpentry job that he doesn't actually show up for.
Yeah, so we're getting the life back together. She's cutting off all contact from Big. And then our other side stories are kind of going on as well. So we find out that Charlotte, who we find out from the little recap in the beginning, couldn't have children. Like, she couldn't,
yeah.
You know, they were having a hard time getting pregnant with her and her husband. So they adopt the little girl. But she finds out that she's pregnant. So we got that going on. She's a big runner. This is her character. She runs a lot and she poops her pants. But we find out that like her husband's worried that she's not running, and she says it's because she's afraid, because she didn't think she could even get pregnant, and like she's afraid like everything's going too good. She doesn't want to ruin it. So she's being...
I know, this really had me scared.
You thought something was going to happen to the kid?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad it didn't. Actually, Charlotte, her entire storyline, other than shit in her pants, which is kind of tragic.
Yeah.
I guess they don't really have a lot for her because she just kind of has a good life.
Well, that's what they say too, because so, you know, we have that whole storyline going on. Then we have Samantha's storyline going on where she is just seeing this neighbor like more and more. And when I mean more, like we see like this dude's whole dong at one point. Like this is probably, I mean, definitely first.
Oh, him having porn star level threesomes.
Yeah, like there's a lot of gratuitous sex scenes with this guy, and that she's kind of
seeing a lot of her sploosh face.
Yeah, she's splooshing everywhere, man.
Oh yeah.
So she's seeing him, and the guy she's with, Smith, is like never home, and she's starting to realize that she's not a relationship person. She's what she is. She likes to have interactions with everybody. You know, she wants to do what she wants to do on a whim. She's got this sexy neighbor, and at one point she wanders into his complex because her dog escapes, and she sees him in a shower, full dong on display, and he's like, "Would you like to join me?" And like, you get the feeling old Samantha would have been up those steps in 2 seconds. She doesn't do it because she's with Smith, but she wants this life back. She's
got morals, man.
Yeah,
you gotta respect it.
Yeah, she wants this life back where she could do whatever she wanted whenever she wanted. She's not used to her life revolving around somebody else. So at one point she's with all the girls again, and she's saying like, relationships are not about always being happy. Like, and she looks at all them and she says to Charlotte, she's like, are you happy all the time? And she's like, every day.
Yeah.
And she's like, every day? She's like, yeah, not every minute of every day, but at least every day I'm happy.
Yeah, she's very responsible.
Yeah, so I mean, Charlotte is happy. Like, she's not, no drama in Charlotte's life.
I think I'm saying I'm a Charlotte.
Are you a Charlotte?
Like, I'm the guy that I found the top of my mountain, and I'm content.
When was the last time you pooped your pants?
It's been a couple days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Totally a Charlotte.
Yeah, I've been to Mexico, so yes, I have shit my pants before. No, but I'm like, I found the top of my mountain, and I didn't need to keep climbing.
There you go.
I was just like, hey, I'm happy.
Yeah, good.
This is good. This works.
Good.
And my shit's together.
Yeah.
It might be in my pants, but it's all in one place.
He Poughkeepsied himself.
Oh.
So that's Samantha's kind of thing that's going on with her. And then Miranda and Steve are still, we keep getting, their relationship's getting a little bit better where they're seeing each other to like get the kid and everything, but there's still no movement as far as like forgiveness. The girls are kind of like every once in a while, like, maybe you should forgive him. Like, we all really liked Steve. They're kind of pushing her to make amends and maybe see if they can be back together. Then we get New Year's Eve, which this scene got me. Like, I don't know what, like, I'll be honest with you. I didn't cry. I haven't cried yet during this podcast. Nothing made me cry. This movie almost a couple times, I got a little misty.
Are you talking about the friend love where she travels across the city?
It was that, but it was like all of it. Like, there was like, they were playing like this really nice version of Old Lang Syne, and you find out like all the women are like spending the night in, like none of them are going out or doing anything. Like, Charlotte's with her family, which is like a really sweet moment. Samantha and her boyfriend are together in LA. They're doing a little toast. You see like Steve, it's his time with the kid, and they're both sleeping in the same bed the exact same way. So that was really cool. Like, their hands were above their heads, like in like a similar thing. But Miranda calls Carrie, and she's like, I thought having a family meant I wanted to be alone on New Year's Eve. She was feeling real down. Carrie was already asleep. And she's like, no, it's fine. Like, you go back to sleep. I just wanted to talk to somebody, but I'll be okay.
I'd have went right back to bed.
Yeah, so would I. Yeah. Carrie's a much better friend than me.
Absolutely.
But Carrie jumps out of bed in her pajamas, throws on some boots and a coat, and like goes across New York to be with Miranda, all during like this montage with the song playing. And I was kind of like, I don't know.
New York is apparently a complete clusterfuck on New Year's Eve, so that must have been a harrowing trip.
Yeah, and then we saw Big like eating dinner by himself, in
a really, really happening party.
Yeah, and he was just
he's in a restaurant like, I'm going to show up here and just take this. That is mob level shit.
Yeah, it really is. Like, he was just sitting at a table by himself eating like a fucking bowl of spaghetti, and everybody's dancing around him, and he's just by himself.
And
nobody's bothering him.
If he turned around, he was like, can you guys all shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
Everybody would have.
Yeah.
Been like, sorry, Mr. Big.
Everybody out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that scene, I don't know why, but that scene, it made me feel feelings.
You got the feelings?
I got the feelings during that scene. The first of a few times I got the feeling. So, we get this scene with those two. It's a real nice moment. So that's New Year's Eve. Then we go to Valentine's Day. And this is kind of where a lot of these stories start to either go in different directions. So Charlotte's still just Charlotte. Charlotte's like the steady of this movie. Like, aside from getting pregnant, like, everything's cool with her. Like, she's actually not afraid to be pregnant anymore. She's running. Things are going really good for her. Samantha is making homemade sushi, and she's going to lay down on the table naked and cover herself in homemade sushi so that when Smith gets home, that's what he'll find. And I thought that was a very nice Valentine's Day gift.
Yes.
I would like to get that sometime.
Kim Cattrall
covered in sushi.
Yeah. In the living room of my beach house.
That'd be nice. Yeah. Not a bad way to spend a Valentine's Day.
No.
But
dysentery is also, I mean, that's a thing there. Like, that is nerve-wracking right there. Sushi in itself, dangerous.
Yeah, and she left it at room temperature for way too long on her warm body. So she's on the table, and then the phone starts ringing. She can't answer it. It's a voicemail from Smith. He's at the studio. He's not going to get out on time. He's running late. Eventually, she gives up, rolls over. All the sushi's on the ground. Goes over to her window. Again, Dante is just banging away. Like, with two girls this time. And
just racking it.
And she is just like...
This man is a human sledgehammer.
He really is. And this Samantha is just like, this should be me. Like, this is how I want to spend my Valentine's Day. I was expecting this kind of stuff tonight, and my boyfriend isn't home. So when he gets home, they have a big fight, and she flies back to New York again, like, every 2 days.
I actually have it written here at one point. There is a scene where they are all in New York. They're doing... So this is about a middle point of the movie. They're all up to something, and then the very next scene, 3 of them are outside. Samantha turns the corner, and they're all like, "You're back in New York!" And I'm like, she was just there 8 seconds ago. Like, she apparently flies back and forth a couple times a week.
Yeah. So Smith comes home, they get in a big fight, and then she goes back to New York. Miranda and Carrie have Galentine's Day. So they go out for dinner together.
In the most annoying looking
Oh my God,
Valentine's Day restaurant I've ever seen.
There were streamers hanging from the ceiling that were 2 inches from the table. Like, you couldn't even, like, hold your head up at a normal height without having, like, shit in your face.
It's like, imagine just being slightly tickled for an entire night by a million little streamers.
Yeah, it was annoying. So, at this point, Miranda decides to finally confess to Carrie that she told Big that he was crazy to get married and it was a bad idea the night of the rehearsal dinner. And Carrie loses her shit. So she's very upset,
Unnecessary.
Obviously. Unnecessarily loses her shit?
If you were getting married and I said something like that, just as a passing glance, and you decided to throw off your entire wedding over like a quick one-liner from somebody who's heartbroken, that wasn't meant to be. Like, you were already on the edge, man. I gave you a little tap.
You're probably right, but Carrie doesn't like it. This is the thing, like, Carrie was kind of starting to take blame for it herself. Because she was saying, and she was right, she was saying, like, I made the wedding all about me. Like, you know, I did this whole Vogue thing. And, like, the article, all I said was I want, and me. And I never thought about Big, and, like, never thought about what he wanted.
Very good self-reflection.
Yeah, it was very good self-reflection. And then Miranda drops this on her, and she's like, well, shit, like, you might be the reason, and gets very upset and leaves. So we get a few days of them not talking. Finally, Miranda shows up in a taxi cab, asks Carrie to get in. They finally kind of hash things out. Carrie agrees to forgive her, but also says, like, you know, you're asking for my forgiveness. Maybe you should talk to Steve and, you know, see if you can forgive him.
I like that all the women kept trying to tell her, like, hey, like, we all like this dude.
Yeah.
Obviously, we all have issues with men.
Yeah.
You found the right one.
Yeah. So we get some, like, scenes of them in couples counseling, and we find out that they've decided, like, they did their last session of counseling. They have to go 2 weeks without seeing each other, and then they've picked a designated meeting spot. So on this last day of the 2 weeks, if they both decide that they want to be together and they're going to make this work, they go to this place. And if they both show up, then you start over. And, you know, you forget about the past. You start building a new future. Whatever. This scene also almost made me cry.
No, really?
And I'm going to be honest with you, I blame the musical choice because they were playing How Do You Fix a Broken Heart by Al Green, which that song makes me sad anyway. And then, like, they couple that with them getting to the bridge. Miranda gets there first and, like, can't find Steve. And she kind of, like, looks like, you know, maybe he's not going to come. And then he shows up and they embrace and it's beautiful. It's a very nice thing.
Of course. Like, they should have started it with him coming to the bridge because she was the question mark.
Yeah.
He had been trying his ass off the entire time. If that guy hadn't shown up, I'd have been fucking angry.
Yeah. If they would have let that scene go a few seconds longer, maybe I would have cried. But instead of that, we get a real hard cut to a real gratuitous sex scene between the two of them.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at that point, I snapped out of it. I was like, well, I can't cry during this. That would be weird.
This was the one I was waiting for my wife to come home from work and walk in while I was watching this.
Right, while Dante's giant penis is on the screen.
Yeah, don't give me the it's for the podcast line.
Let me ask, does she watch Sex and the City? Did she watch Sex and the City?
Oh, God, no.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
No. This would have offended her.
Oh, okay.
The idea of watching this. She's more of a Wire and Sopranos type of person.
Good. So yeah, we get this gratuitous sex scene that shows that, you know, their marriage is fine and good again. Like, the passion is back.
Is it.
Yeah. So she's forgiven her. Samantha finally decides to leave her boyfriend, which I thought this was, like, the most, like, responsible,
very adult,
like, thought out adult breakup. There was no implosion. She basically just said, like, you know, he walked in. She said, we need to talk. He said, I've been expecting this. She says to him, you know, he's like, so you don't love me anymore? And she goes, no, I love you. She's like, I'm not a relationship person. Like, I can't spend my life catering to somebody else or my life. And she's like, I've been in a relationship with myself for 49 years. That's the relationship I need to work on. And they have a very nice, like, hope you find happiness, like, kind of like, I was like, this might be the most responsible movie we've ever seen.
The only thing I kind of thought they missed the shot on was, I kind of expected to be like, hey, you want to bone down real quick before my plane? Well, do one more throw before I go.
I thought she was going to leave and go over and, like, right next door. Like, all right, I'll see you later. And then right over to Dante's
apartment. And then he goes out to get into the hot tub and cry out a little bit. Yeah, and Dante's over there just absolutely destroying her.
Yeah. The other thing that...
I do like that he gave her the ring back. Even though she broke up, she goes here, and she gives him the ring, and it's real sad. And he goes, I'd like you to keep that. And she didn't waste a second.
She goes,
just
okay, and slides it back on.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I forgot to mention earlier was when they were at the auction and she was trying to buy the ring for herself and somebody was bidding against her. It was actually him on the phone with like an
pretty
assistant.
romantic.
It was cool, but it was also one of her things where she was like, I wanted to buy that ring for myself. It was something like I wanted to do for me. And then he like kind of swooped in and bought it.
And I like that she says this too. She said that to him, right? And he's just... Oh, yeah, that was kind of a bad move.
Yeah,
I get it. Like, you could tell this guy was like, damn, this is heartbreaking, but I'm also a movie star. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'm sure that guy's going to be fine.
Yeah.
He's got an excellent wingman right next door. I'm sure that guy's got some parties that he can help him out.
Fuck, considering the way that guy throws, he might be able to just go next door and they could have fun all night.
So, Samantha, she moves back to New York, so we got the girls all back together. We get a scene with Charlotte. She stops in to have a quick lunch somewhere. She's big as a house, pregnant, like due any minute, you know? She stops in for lunch, and she sees Big eating by him. This guy eats a lot of meals by himself out.
Hey, man, when you're comfy with yourself.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. Yeah, so he's eating.
I would suggest everybody to do that. Have you ever gone to a restaurant and said, no, just a table for one?
Once in a while.
Put me in a booth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be comfortable with yourself.
Yeah, once in a while I do.
How can you love anybody if you don't love yourself?
That's true. You know what? That's beautiful.
This is why I buy 4-ply toilet paper.
That's beautiful. So, yeah, I mean, got to take care of your whole self.
Yeah.
So she sees Big across the room. She had said earlier in the movie that she had like this big speech planned for him if she ever saw him. Like she was going to just rip into him.
Curse the day you were born.
But as soon as she sees him, she's just like, I got to go. And she gathers up all of her things and she tries to run out the door. Big sees her, follows her outside, and wants to try to talk to her because he's been trying to get a hold of Carrie. He wants to know how she's doing. Has had no word from her since, I mean, you got to assume they were getting married probably spring or summer, and it is now spring again.
Yeah,
because
this
Valentine's Day is
like
coming.
Over a year.
It's a course of a year.
Like.
Yeah, it's exactly the course of a year. So it's been a long time since he's heard from her. And so he goes outside. Charlotte finally yells her good line at him. I cursed the day you were born that she wanted to use. And looks real surprised by herself. And then, yes, a real life sploosh because her water breaks. Not a sexy sploosh, a baby sploosh.
Depends on what you're into.
It's a baby sploosh.
Okay. Yeah, right. You got me. All right.
Yeah. God damn it, you fucking derailed me. But yeah, so the water breaks. She tries to get a cab, and Big is like, no, my car is literally right here with my driver, who's always there with me. The guy's got money. Like, he's not having lunch by himself, and his driver's just out in the car waiting for him. She resists at first, but then she's like, well, I'm about to have this baby, and I don't want to have it, on the streets of New York. So, gets in the car. Flash forward, the baby's been born. Carrie shows up at the hospital to see her, and they kind of tell her, Big brought her to the hospital. We saw Big. And she's like, oh, wow, well, this isn't about him. This is about you. Like, this is your day.
Very adult.
Very adult.
Like it.
Yeah. She goes to leave. Charlotte's husband, Harry, who this guy, if anybody didn't get any meat in this movie, it's Harry. Like, I wonder how much meat this guy got in the rest of the series, because he is basically just, he's like the mayonnaise of a human. Like, he is just very, boring, featureless, just... I'm
sure this guy had a lot in the show. He must have.
I hope so. But, he runs out and finally gets some lines where he says, hey, I told him I'd ask you, but, Big asked me to, tell you to call him. And she's like, I haven't heard from him in this long. Like, why? And he's like, well, he says he's been writing you, constantly, and you haven't answered. And she's like, no, he hasn't written me. There's no way. So she goes home and starts going through, all this old mail, can't find anything, is about to give up, and then realizes that she had asked Louise to hide everything in a folder that would be from Big, so she'd never have to see it. She figures out the password is love.
By using a keychain that says love. That keychain?
Yeah.
$20,000.
Fuck it is.
It is solid gold built by an artist.
But Louise had it. Louise rented her purses.
I think these are all just things they snuck in that somebody more discerning than us in the fashion world would have caught it and been like, oh, they shot that in there.
Do you know how many times I misplaced my keys? I'm not putting a $20,000 key ring on anything.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Well, anyhow, she gets into the email and realizes that Love has been sending her, Love. Big has been, I got Love on the brain, $20,000 in love. finds out that Big has been sending her emails with love letters. Like that he's just basically, he's taking love letters from famous people because earlier in the movie she's showing him a book, famous love letters from famous men throughout the world. And she's like, you've never written me a love letter. And he's like, well, you're right here. Like these guys had war and, distance, and they had to write letters. Well, now Big has to write letters, but he doesn't know how or what to say. So he's like literally sent her like some famous love letter every day for like ever. And then one from himself that just says, I'm sorry, I love you forever. That's all it says.
Which is some real, I'm going to end the shit sort of energy right there.
Yeah. And even at this point, she's like, she says, I wanted to call him, but I didn't. And then Louise calls her because she was trying to get a hold of her to get the password for the computer. And she reminds her that the apartment that they bought together, they're coming to change the locks on it in 1 hour. And there's a pair of $5,500 shoes that she's never worn still in the walk-in closet. Why they're still there, I don't understand, because everything else in that apartment is gone except for that one pair of shoes.
Yes.
So she's like, shit, you're right. I got to go get them. So she leaves, runs to this apartment, goes in, opens the big walk-in closet, and who's there? Big. Holding the blue shoes. And he's like, I was going to try to get these to you. Like, it seemed like a waste to not. And I love this too. There's no argument. There's no, why did you, as soon as she sees him, she just goes right to him and just kisses him. Yeah. Because like they're meant to be together. You get the feeling, it's apparently probably what this whole series was about was like.
I was immediately like, all right, here comes another really graphic sex.
Yeah, they were getting like graphic sex in the walk-in.
Just him holding her out the window.
Just wearing those blue shoes and nothing else.
Yep.
But anyhow, they embrace and then they're kind of laying on the floor in the closet just talking and they, why did we decide to get married anyway? Like they realized, like we did, that it was so businesslike. And it wasn't like a heartfelt, let's get married. It was more like we're supposed to get married, so let's get married. That we were happier before we decided to get married, she says. So they go to get up and Big stays on the ground on one knee and actually proposes to her in a very nice romantic way. And she accepts. We get their wedding, which they do just at the JOP. They go to the Justice of the Peace, which I thought was awesome. She's wearing that plain white, no designer gown. They get married. They go to leave, and he says, I thought you would have at least wanted to have the girls here. And he says, so, surprise, I called them. They open the door, all the girls are there. Big hugs, everybody's happy. A nice girl moment, girl power.
Yay!
Yeah, woo-woo. And that's pretty much how it ends. Like, we get a little, scene with, voiceover from her just kind of talking about, how, when, they all met and, they came to the city so long ago and they've remained friends. And
and they show, this camera zoom out where it goes around and did you notice there's, multiple groups of 4 women?
Yeah.
About,
I think she says,
things.
we're not the last or we're not the first to come and we'll be the last. And it shows, all these, friend groups walking and all dressed up and going to the same club that they were in.
Multiverse feel.
Yeah, right. And we find out it's Samantha's 50th birthday, and I gotta tell you, Kim Cattrall looks good for 50.
I mean, she's in her 60s now, and
I made a sploosh face.
Still doing it.
Yep. Sploosh. All right, well, and that's pretty much how the movie ends. We, everybody gets kind of their happy. Everybody ends up happy. I feel like. I mean, Miranda and Steve are back together. Charlotte has her baby. We get to see they had the baby. Nothing bad happened there. Samantha is back in town, single, DTF. And Carrie and Big are married. And assumedly, hopefully they found an apartment. That would suck. They had that really nice place.
Know that he got that place regardless.
Probably. Because, they had time before the other people came to put the new locks on. He's probably like, hey, do you know who I am?
Yeah, and they were
change those fucking locks.
Yep.
I'm going to introduce you to Jimmy Hoffa.
I'm going to live in this place either with my wife or with my wife and you guys buried in the fucking basement.
Yeah. Get him, Big. All right, so yeah. That's it. That was Sex in the City. I feel like we did all right for not knowing anything about it.
I feel like we went through pretty fast for a movie that really felt like it was 4.5 hours long.
It did feel long. It did. Well, on that note, would you like to give this movie any flowers, or would you just like to take the flowers and beat it over the head?
Yeah, I actually got things to say about this. So this one, I fell down like a rabbit hole after watching this. Because I wanted to see, was there anything in the TV show that got paid off in this movie?
Yeah.
I didn't get the answer to that question because I fell down a rabbit hole of reading about Kim Cattrall and Sarah Jessica Parker.
Feuding.
Yeah,
that's what I hear.
For, I guess, a good chunk of the TV show, all the way up to the movie, second movie, new TV show they have.
Which I don't think Kim Cattrall's in that. Am I right?
It is.
She didn't come back for that because of the feud?
She plays... well, I'll just say, like, I read about this feud for a while. It honestly, you can't tell who's a bad guy or a good guy.
Yeah.
It just seems like two very different people.
Yeah, but you'll have that.
That have realized that they do not belong
near each other. You'll have that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get a job to do, though, and you it's tough through it. I mean, they do a nice job of seeming like they like each other, at least in this movie.
I guess they've led it all the way up to, it's season 2 or 3 now of this new television show, where now all the ladies are in their 50s.
Yeah.
And it's more about, like, the post-menopause portion of their life.
Okay.
Kim Cattrall is in, like, 1 episode. She's never on screen with the other girls. I guess she, like, comes around the corner and is like, oh my God. And it's all, like, showing from somebody's perspective in the back of her.
Yeah.
And then she also does a scene or 2 over the phone. But she's never worked with any of them again.
Okay.
That's one thing. I've already talked about, like, I really like the way that these characters are... They're adults. Like, they have problems and shit like that, but they handle it like actual adults, which is really nice.
Yeah.
I'm really getting tired in these movies of me being like, wow, the whole movie could be solved with one good conversation.
Yeah, a lot of these movies just throw logic out the window. And, like, I feel like this movie is probably the most realistic depiction of how...
Very grounded.
These things would go, and just very responsible about it. And, like, just truthful.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like everything felt very true to me. There was not a scene in this movie that I was like, well, this is... Except for maybe the point where Big wouldn't get out of the limo if she wouldn't look at him. I thought that was a little silly. Like, I didn't understand why that was the case. But other than that, that was like the only real thing I didn't get. Like, everything just seemed like it played out the way it would happen in real life and done in a smart, responsible way. Like, everybody was really in touch with their feelings and emotions.
Yeah. And it shows that these are all, like, people in their 40s that they've already done all the dumb shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I liked it. Go ahead, man. It's all you.
I just a couple things. I found it interesting that this was actually the highest grossing R-rated female comedy up until Bridesmaids came out like 3 years later. And it actually is still the highest grossing R-rated female comedy worldwide. It made more money worldwide than Bridesmaids did.
Didn't have to be R-rated. I mean, I'm saying I'm glad it was, but like they didn't... They could have made this PG and still sold just as much. I think they were like, "Fuck it, this is coming from HBO.
Yeah, and
we're going to make this hard."
I'm sure the series was pretty great because HBO loves to put boobs in their. I mean, we've all seen Sopranos, Game of Thrones. It's all the B in HBO stands for boobies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Having boobies on TV, HBO television.
That is right. $450 million worldwide gross and $152 million domestic. And it's the highest grossing live action film that is a direct continuation of a TV series.
Wow.
So, yeah. The only other thing I thought was interesting was the book of famous poems from famous men.
This I did see.
It was not a real book. But because of the movie, they made it a real book. There were so many requests from people for this book after the movie came out that someone actually made a collection of all these famous love letters and turned it into a book.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool.
I like it.
So that's it. Shall we throw a dick on this chick flick?
Yeah.
CJ, I'll let you go first.
There's some parts of this movie where I felt it was already happening.
Shall we turn this chick flick into a Dante?
I mean, I've already kind of alluded to this, but in my version of this movie where it turns into a dick flick it doesn't work out for any of these ladies in their love lives. For one reason or another, they all lose their husbands. While walking, they decide, hey, fuck it, we're strong, independent, hardworking ladies. While walking on a street, it's dark, it's New York City, they get approached by some mean-looking youths.
The youths?
It's dangerous situation. While Miranda's going for her mace, 4 cloaked entities roll up, start beating up these youths.
Oh, God.
Okay. Ninja swords, katanas, all the cool stuff. They meet the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We'll say, for the sake of not sounding like last week's episode, the full-grown adult Ninja Turtles. And
The
here
responsibly
becomes,
aged Ninja Turtles.
yes, and here's where they get, I mean, I think Samantha would be disappointed because the turtles are usually naked and they don't have any penises.
No. I'm not sure how turtles are
But
produced.
they have to, of course, pair off.
Yeah.
The turtles learn fashion sense. The women learn to be ninjas. I think it's a win-win for everybody.
I love this.
Yeah, when I think of 4 people in New York,
Teenage Mutant Sex in the City.
we'll say fully adult Sex in the City.
Over 18 ninja Sex in the City. I love it.
Yeah.
It sounds great. I honestly had a hard time with this one because like this movie doesn't work unless it's women. You know what I mean? Like you can't really like everything this movie's about is about like this friend group, this core friend group of women.
Yes.
And you can't like at first I was like, well, let's just change all the women out for guys and see what they get into, but that's been done. Like nobody wants to watch.
Yeah, it's called Entourage.
Yeah,
HBO
nobody wants to watch. So what I've decided I want to do is because these women all remind me kind of the Golden Girls, I want to build like a time machine and bring the Golden Girls from the 80s and put them in the place of all these women and then just see how it plays out. So I want to see like this movie, the exact same scenarios, but with the Golden Girls doing their thing and like the way they would react to everything. Ooh. So like B. Arthur would be Sarah Jessica Parker, Rose, Betty White would be Charlotte, Blanche is obviously Samantha, and that just makes Miranda the mom, which makes sense because she's kind of like
that same graphic sex scene.
She's yes, you get it all, man.
Oh,
you get Blanche Devereaux like covered in sushi but naked. Yeah, we get all that. Yeah, that's how I would do it. That's what I would do.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's mine. Let's Nicolas Cage this thing. I'm gonna let you go first on this one.
All right. Where would I add him in? I had a couple half decent ideas for this, but really the one that I think would be perfect is not making him be the porn star neighbor, but you know how like a lot of that interaction is her sitting in the hot tub, and she's just watching.
Yeah.
Splooshing all over, watching this guy just railing human after human.
Yeah.
I would love it if she was watching and she looked up and realized that the house on the other side of the neighbor also had a hot tub. In that hot tub, Nicolas Cage is also down there watching.
And he's watching.
And looks across. And now Nicolas Cage and Kim Cattrall about the same age.
Yeah.
So more of a responsible love interest. Mm-hmm. And they make eyes.
Ah.
And you're like, oh, they're going to meet up. But they're like, they just give a thumbs up. And then go back to watching this guy.
Nice. I see you over there.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
This is why I bought this house.
You want to switch apartments so I'm not looking up this guy's butthole the entire time? Because like his back's always facing me. So maybe we could switch. And
maybe it cuts at the end during the ending montage. They're both in the hot tub together, arm around each other, watching the neighbor.
Big bowl of guacamole and chips.
Yes.
Yeah. I love it. Excellent. All right. Mine, in a way, I'll piggyback off of yours because I have decided to connect the guy that plays Huge Dong Dante.
Nice.
To Nicolas Cage. Dante was in an episode of a television series called The Rookie, which stars Nathan Fillion.
Yes.
From Firefly fame. Nathan Fillion also in the movie Slither. He plays the sheriff. It's a little
wonderful movie.
James Gunn horror movie.
I love that movie.
That movie also stars Michael Rooker. Michael Rooker is in James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. He plays one of the characters that's in The Suicide Squad, which also stars Idris Elba as Deadshot. I think Deadshot.
Yes.
Or Bloodsport.
One of those guys.
Yeah, it's not. I think Will Smith was dead. I don't fucking know, CJ. Anyway, Idris Elba's in the Suicide Squad as someone, and then he is in the sequel to Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance, starring the one and only Nicolas Cage.
Nice. Bring it all around. A lot of comic book movies in that one.
There were, yeah. So yeah, let's rate it.
You go first.
Me? So like you said this movie felt like it took forever to watch. And I'm going to be honest with you. I started watching this movie last night, and then I had some other plans. So I started watching. I got all the way through The Wedding, and then Big Leaving, The Mexican Vacation, and then I had to go. So I hit stop on the movie. And at that point, there was still an hour and 20 minutes left to go. And I felt like so much had already happened. And I really thought we were getting close to like wrapping it up. And I was like, holy shit, like what more can they do in this movie? But I liked this movie. It just felt like it was really long. And I don't know what that is. So the pacing of this movie, I'm going to take some points off for the pacing, I think.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to honestly go, I think 3.75. I kind of dug this movie. I mean,
Okay.
for not having seen any of the backstory to it, they did a really great job of just setting it up. I didn't have any questions. Everything was really explained out for me. It could have been a standalone movie. The relationships all seem very truthful. Some of them relatable. Like it was just done. Like I said, it's a very responsible, well done movie. And like somebody said, some of the shots in this movie, I just thought it was filmed very well. I thought the acting was really good. There weren't any characters that I disliked. I kind of dug it. 3.75. I'm not saying I'm going to go watch the series now, but I'm kind of curious.
Honestly, I'm at a 3.5.
Yeah?
Yeah, I kind of for the same reasons. There were multiple times in this movie where a scene was going on. I was like, they could have cut this.
Yeah.
Like this movie should have been an hour and maybe an hour and 45 minutes instead of 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
I actually got the feeling that Charlotte probably actually had a lot more storyline. They just cut that all for time.
Maybe.
Like, because she actually really did seem underdeveloped in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they could have cut out a lot. I think they did a pretty bang-up job of making a movie that had 6 years of backstory, and I was still able to comprehend what was going on without knowing any of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 3.5. This is a decent movie. I will never, ever watch it again.
Oh, yeah, I know. I have no desire. But I will say it kind of piqued
There were 30-second clips that I watched 3 or 4 times.
It has kind of piqued my interest, though, just to maybe like give the series a shot. I'm not saying I will. I don't have that kind of time. I can barely fit a movie in a week. But, you know, if I'm ever like laid up in the hospital for some reason, maybe a little Sex in the City. Maybe a little binge. Who knows?
Right.
If I'm ever down with the flu, you know, I got nothing better to do.
This is true. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's pick our movie for next week then.
What are we up to on that list?
202.
202. All right, let's hit that generate. We have number 53.
Ooh, that's kind of low. I feel like the real meat. We've been saying meat a lot in this episode. But I feel like the real meat of the list is in the beginning. Let's see here. 53. I love it. I don't even know if this is really a chick flick. High Fidelity.
High Fidelity.
Yeah.
This is one I've seen before.
I love this movie, but I'm not even sure why it's on the list. I'm going to be honest. I think it is a romance. It's definitely a rom-com. It's a rom-com. I don't know if I'd call it a chick flick. I think this is another one of those like everybody flicks, but it's definitely heavy on the romance, heavy on the comedy. You got Jack Black. You got John Cusack. Who's
I'm going to ask around this week.
golden. Yeah, let's get people's input. I mean, we're doing it regardless, but we'll see what people think after,
High Fidelity.
Maybe we'll have some input from outsiders when we come back next week and talk about this.
This is the lesser Cusack, as I remember, right?
It is. I'm not sure if Joan's in this one.
No, Joan is the greater Cusack.
I know, but I don't know if because she's in a lot of his movies, and I don't know if she's in this one. But I guess we'll find out. Let's keep our fingers crossed for some Joan Cusack. I know we got Jack Black, and I know we got John Cusack, and other than that, I don't remember who's in this movie, but I know I like it. All right. So until next week, everybody, thank you so much for listening. Please check us out on Spotify, Apple Music. Review and rate us. It helps us out a ton.
Big shout out to Moscow this week.
Idaho.
Moscow, Idaho.
Somebody went on a binge and listened to every episode, and we appreciate you.
We love you to death. We are worried a little, but we love you to death.
Yeah, check us out on find us on Facebook at You've Got Mails. Drop us a line on our email. It's you've.gotmails@yahoo.com. And this goes for anybody. Like if we don't know you, if you're not one of our friends already that listens to this, like, we would love to know, like, how you found us and, like, what you think and why you're listening. I mean, that would mean the world to us. So, please, reach out, everybody out there. Hit us up on Facebook. Like, we'd love to hear from some people. So, until next week when we do High Fidelity, which may or may not be a chick flick, stay romantic and don't be shitty to each other.
Yeah. Sad thing is we're both fucking Mirandas, really.
Oh, no.